Sports plus life.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again and again and again and 1,000 more times. If James Harden is your number one option on your basketball team, you ain't winning no titles. It's really that simple. It's not gonna happen.
Sports plus life.
So, Cardi B and Offset are getting a divorce? Does that surprise you? I mean, for real. I mean, not trying to be funny or nothing, but Offset's the ugly one of the Migos, so whenever ass gets thrown his direction, absolutely he's going to take it, even if he's living at home with a fine woman like Cardi B. But we don't know what she looks like without makeup on, though.
Sports plus life.
I am not going to waste my time talking about the damn Dallas Cowboys ad nauseum like every other sports show or sports podcast does in America. They're a bad football team. They've been a bad football team playing in an even worse football division. The hell do they deserve the attention for? Somebody tell me that.
Sports plus life.
This is what happens when you mix trifling ass people who are supposed to be your friends, always hanging around you, mixed with liquor and weed and whatever drugs was at that little kickback. Not to mention somebody from the Kardashian clan. You get shot in the foot. Get well, Megan Thee Stallion. Damn. And Tory Lanez, what are you doing, bro?
Sports plus life.
People are always telling me, hey, B, when you gonna grow up? Brandon, you need to grow up. Listen, the only thing that's gonna grow up on me is my dick, motherfucker. Copy and print that.
Sports plus life.
On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's Sports Plus Life. Sports Plus Life. Ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin' no. Knuckle up or buckle up. I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got some dough. Sports Plus Life. Yeah. Sports Plus Life. Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. How's everybody feeling today? And y'all already know it's gonna go down today. It's finna go down today. So guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off, boy. All right, how is everybody doing today? Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns. This here is Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the latest and the greatest news that has to be talked about in the world of sports and life as well. So I'm, pretty sure everybody knows what yesterday was and what today has pretty much been all about. It's been a nice day, nice fall, 68, 70 degree day in the Richmond, VA. By the time this probably uploads to my YouTube page, it will probably, it'll probably be about 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock, the latest. But anyway, it is Wednesday, November the 4th, 2020. We in November. I swear 2020 has flown by, but let me tell you some real talk. I can't wait for this shit to be over, to have some semblance of, I don't know, because I can't automatically assume that when it becomes 2021, that it's automatically going to be back to the way it was in 2019. So I don't know, but I'm sure everybody knows what's up. Yesterday was election day. Yes, it was election day, and it's been considered the biggest election of our lifetime between two old white men. So, I mean, one way or another, an old white man is going to be running America again. I mean, hell, wasn't trying to sound racist. I'm really just sounding factual. You have two old white guys in their 70s, and we'll see what happens. Donald Trump, the current president, and Joe Biden, the former vice president, as he was the vice president, of course, as you know, under Barack Obama. And of course, you know it's going to be controversial. Everything about 2020 is going to be controversial. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the sports first. I got to talk about this election shit first. You know, I feel it my civic duty. Now, I voted a week ago. I voted last Tuesday.
Excellent.
So I could sleep in yesterday. And that's pretty much what I did. All jokes aside. But once it got to, as far as electoral votes are concerned, once it got to 224, once Joe Biden had 224 and Donald Trump had 213, it pretty much went on a stalemate. It pretty much, you know, it was locked on there for hours upon hours. When I woke up at 4:45 this morning to go to work, you know, it was 224 to 213. And since then, Joe Biden has gotten 29 more electoral votes. Donald Trump is on 213. Joe Biden is at 253. So he's close. He's 17 more electoral votes from becoming the next president of the United States of America. And of course, Donald Trump is bitching already. You know, he said that, you know, the votes that are being counted is a fraud, and he wants to take it to the Supreme Court to get them to stop counting the votes. What he wants to do is pretty much what happened in 2000. I don't know if you guys remember that. And this is where I started thinking that there was some shady shit going on because, you know, the last few elections, when it's election day, generally by that night, by the 11 o'clock news, you know who won. So the only time that I can remember that it was taking this long to find out who won an election was in 2000 when, for those of you who remember, Al Gore versus George W. Bush, and there was a controversy over the Florida ballots. It came down to Florida, and they were counting votes into the next day and the next couple of days, and then all of a sudden they were ordered to stop. And that's when, you know, and that's, I don't give a damn what anybody says, the fix was in, because George Bush was running for president, but the governor of Florida at the time was his brother. So the fix was in. And that makes me think about stuff like that because, you know, he's been going out of his way to make sure that, to discourage people from voting, you know, particularly a particular community that he knows will probably vote against him. And I'm not saying I'm not saying community like I'm talking about the black community. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the community of people who are struggling financially, the athletic community who he has spoken so badly about, you know, the LGBTQ community, you know, women who actually pay attention to what he says. I delivered to a house today and I saw a pink sign that says "Women for Trump." I was like, huh, okay, to each his own. But yeah, so, and I had to listen to the radio, and my wife explained to me, well, you know, they have to count, this is a record number of mail-in ballots because of COVID-19. So a lot of mail-in ballots came, and it's a lot that they have to count. They're literally counting them by hand. And I'm like, and I heard that on the radio too. I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. And then when I check CNN and I see that Joe Biden's number has gone up, that he's won Michigan, and it looks like he could possibly win Pennsylvania. I'm like, oh, okay. So, and Biden did win Virginia. I know when they were talking about Virginia last night, when they were doing the counting of the votes, Biden was getting spanked by Trump by like over 300,000 votes. Well, something turned around. I mean, you see, Biden won New York, no surprise there. He won California, a little bit. He won D.C. I mean, he won pretty much the northern states. The only one everybody's still waiting for is Pennsylvania. I think if he wins Pennsylvania, I think that might be a wrap, to be honest with you. I think that might be a wrap. But, you know, Donald Trump, they're going to have to evict this nigga. I'm so serious. They're going to have to tell him, look, you lost, okay? You have to go. Get out. Your 4-year lease is up. You did not get a renewal, sir. So you must leave the premises immediately.
Release the hounds.
leave, and go on with the next chapter of your life. Like, he is really going to be a sore loser about this if he loses. Now, it's not over yet. Like I said, Joe Biden is leading right now by 40 electoral votes. He has 253. And Trump has 213. Hopefully, by the time you listen to this, there will be a new president, or there'll be some form of clarity that is going on in this presidential election. I mean, like I said, it just gave me memories of Bush versus Al Gore. And what's crazy is that, I will still say this, is that people thought that George W. Bush was a really bad president. I mean, when he was on his way out in 2008, he was just being dragged through the mud. And I mean, and he made some bad decisions, particularly that got us in a financial crisis. But I mean, gee whiz, compared to Trump, I've said this before and I'll say it again. You know, Trump has been so out there as a president, you damn near owe George Bush an apology. Now, when it comes to numbers, finances, I mean, Trump hasn't been that bad. I don't think, unless, you know, there's always new information that I could learn. You know, as far as that goes, but he's a numbers guy. He's he's a real estate mogul, so he's good with numbers. He's good with Wall Street stuff. That's why when Joe Biden was trying to challenge him on Wall Street in the debate, I'm like, Joe, you're gonna lose that battle. No, you because Wall Street is this man's language. But when it comes to being a actual leader, you know, I think George Bush was a way better leader morally than Donald Trump. I don't think George Bush would have handled coronavirus the way Trump did. I don't think he would have handled the civil unrest the way Trump did. I could be wrong. We'll never find out because Bush wasn't president. One of the things I remember most from George Bush's term, and this was in the beginning of his second term, was, of course, Kanye West, who was relatively new to the scene, saying George Bush doesn't care about black people. My, how things have changed for Kanye. He went from saying that about George Bush to wearing a MAGA hat. But anyway, everybody is still on pins and needles waiting to see what is going on. And I was out there in kind of country area in the beginning parts of Spotsylvania and the ending parts of, Caroline County? Either Caroline County and Hanover. You know, and I was around Trumpville. Bunch of country land, nothing but Trump and Pence signs. And, you know, everybody that I've talked to, you know, I've seen when I've had to deliver and they've had the Trump signs in their yard, they've been polite. They've been pretty cool for the most part. And look, this is just me. I don't give a damn who you support when it comes to your politics. Just don't be disrespectful to me, you know, because I don't give a damn what Trump will rile you up to do. Me or anybody else, you know, we haven't done anything to you. You know what I mean? So that's my main thing. I don't care who you vote for. That's your business. That's your right. But don't disrespect me.
Fuck you, and fuck you.
You know, don't disrespect me just because you're a Trump supporter. And that's been the problem in this damn country, is that people have, because Trump is the president and he's so brash and he doesn't, he's not politically correct. He won't hold back anything that he says. And partly I respect that about him, because I think some people are too PC, almost to the point where people are acting like robots. And so, but when he got into office, it's like you really saw people's true colors completely come out. Like when Obama was in office, you saw people's true colors come out with the disrespectful food stamp president and all of that shit. You know, you saw all of that stuff come out. And Trump, everybody just took it to another level. And like I said, I don't give a damn. You know, vote, do you. Write your name in the damn ballot and vote. Shit, I've done it before. So, excuse me. So, but anyway, let's just continue to see what happens. Let me check my phone again to see what we're looking like, see if anything has changed in regards to these electoral college votes. I just kind of never understood that. It's crazy because Hillary Clinton won the popular vote but lost the electoral votes. That's just never made sense to me when it comes to politics. Again, as soon as you go to CNN.com, Joe Biden is closing in on 270. Will he be the next president of the United States of America? Yeah, so same, 253, 213. But anyway, so I've gotten off of the presidential stuff. So as far as the sports stuff go, let's get to it, bruh. All right, well, I'm going to start with the NF of the L, and I'm going to first start with the news that happened today. The San Francisco 49ers have shut down their practice facility because wide receiver Kendrick Bourne has tested positive for the coronavirus. They are supposed to host the Green Bay Packers tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. No word if that's going to be pushed back or not. That'll probably depend on if any other players test positive for the virus. And this is more recent, as in this is more of breaking news. The 49ers information happened before noon, but Detroit Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford is on the reserve COVID-19 list. He's considered a high risk, I believe, having come in contact with somebody who had the coronavirus. That does not mean that he is not eligible to play in their game on Sunday if he has 5 straight days of negative COVID tests. So that is what is going on now. And the thing about it is we're hearing so much stuff all day, every day about the coronavirus, particularly now in sports, particularly in football. I think the NFL has actually done a good job because they have been able to plow forward. They haven't been hit like college football has, like Wisconsin having to cancel games, and they probably not even going to be eligible to play for the Big Ten title because this is going to be their second straight game that they've had to cancel due to COVID. So we'll have to see. But I did a YouTube a couple of days ago. I want to say it was Monday. It was before the Monday Night Football game, giving my picks and giving my recap of last week. So what I think I'm going to do now, because I did take a bit of time talking about the presidential debate, I will just go right into week 9, the games that are coming up. I may say a little something about who the team played or lost to last week or beat last week based on the matchup. So I'll start with week 9. That is the Thursday night game. I said week 9 already, but anyway, Thursday night game, which is now up in the air, the Green Bay Packers at the San Francisco 49ers. Green Bay Packers did Aaron Rodgers no favors as far as getting him help during the trade deadline. There was a lot of talk about Will Fuller possibly going to the Packers. That didn't happen. Something about the organization weren't in an agreement about getting a wide receiver. Getting defense would not have hurt either. Dalvin Cook ran fucking wild on them on Sunday. That was the upset of the day. The Vikings beating the Packers. Like, the Packers started off 5-0. Aaron Rodgers was cocky than a motherfucker again, and now they've lost 2 straight games, and now everybody has questions about him. And the 49ers, I mean, damn. Seattle kicks the crap out of them. They lose Jimmy Garoppolo and they lose George Kittle for weeks. Both of them are going on injured reserve. Every time, I mean, I guess maybe now I can finally stick a fork in the San Francisco 49ers because injuries have just hit them so hard. It has just hit them so hard this season, and Kyle Shanahan is doing the best that he can with what he has. I mean, I have to give him a lot of props because one thing the 49ers are that those bum-ass Cowboys are not is prepared no matter the injury. They're prepared to play football. The Dallas Cowboys do not look prepared to do shit but come in there and collect a paycheck. But I'm not going to go into extra detail about Dallas. But it's just you know, it fucks me up when I hear these fans say, well, injuries happen to every team. Every team. Injuries have nothing to do with your effort, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, and being prepared, being well coached. The San Francisco 49ers are well coached every game. Every game. I mean, they beat the Giants with their practice squad team, pretty much. But anyway, I'm gonna go with if they have this game tomorrow, I'm gonna go with the Packers. They need to win. The 49ers beat up. I think they should be able to pull that one out. Now to Sunday's game. My Denver Broncos versus my original dark horse team at the beginning of the season, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Falcons are 2-6. They just won their second game. They have just found wonderful and magical ways to lose, to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory on a regular basis. But it's hard for me to... I just see the Falcons, even if they're just playing spoiler, they're going to win some games. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, they're at the halfway point. They're 2-6. I would be surprised if the Falcons finish with 10 losses. And that might sound crazy because they find so many creative ways to lose. I actually think they're going to beat my Denver Broncos. Now, of course, I want one of those magical ways to lose to rear its ugly head against my Broncos. I mean, as much as I have bitched about my Denver Broncos, because Drew Lock was absolutely trash for 3 quarters against the Chargers, but then the Broncos found a way because the Chargers are the next best team to find new and creative ways to lose. They came back from 21 down to beat the Chargers on the very last play of the game. Shout out Drew Lock for that. But I do think the Falcons are going to win this game. I think it's going to be relatively high scoring, but I just see the Falcons. Even if they're a spoiler, I actually see them beating New Orleans once, and I see them beating Tampa Bay once. I just do. I mean, there's still a lot of talent on this offense, and they still have, they still got their first string quarterback. Matt Ryan is still putting up numbers. Julio Jones is starting to smoke. If Calvin Ridley is healthy, he's a top 10 wide receiver himself. That's one of the best wide receiver tandems in football. I mean, can you disagree? Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. I know what the record says, but I'm talking about the talent as far as receivers. They are right up there with DK and Tyler Lockett from Seattle. They really, really are. They're right up there with Godwin when he's healthy and Mike Evans. And now you're about to add Antonio Brown. Good Lord. But I have to be realistic and go with the Falcons. Big game. Seattle at Buffalo. You have a 6-1 team in Seattle against a 6-2 team in Buffalo who has not really looked impressive over the last month. I'm going to say it again. Ever since Brett Favre opened up his mouth and said that Josh Allen was the next Tom Brady, Josh Allen has played average. And that may be a stretch. But be that as it may, the Buffalo Bills did defeat the New England Patriots. They are a game and a half up on the Miami Dolphins. They're 6-2. They're in the driver's seat to win their first division title in 25 years. They're at home against the Seattle Seahawks, and guess what? Buffalo's gonna lose. Seattle, let Russ cook, and Russ is cooking his ass off. I mean, boy, Sierra doing some things to that man. Cause that boy playing the best I ever seen him play. Sierra doing some, he's doing some things to that man. You know what I'm saying? He's doing some things. So, I mean, he happy. I mean, he's the one thing I say, he is happy. Woo. Anyway, but yeah, I got Seattle winning that game. Chicago at Tennessee. I'm starting to hear people say maybe Mitch Trubisky should be starting for the Bears again. No, he shouldn't. Matt Nagy is sick and tired of him. He doesn't fit what he wants to do. Now, I think that Trubisky actually has a skill set that of Josh Allen. Just Josh Allen is more accurate. But I think his time in Chicago is done, son. I really do. I think it is. And I'm torn on this game because Tennessee has dropped their last 2 games, and it really could have been their last 3 if it wasn't for coaching ignorance by the Houston Texans, who have become another one of those top 5 teams that finds great ways to lose. It's at Tennessee. I'm going to go with the Titans, but I think that game is going to be close. I think that game is going to be close because the Bears defense is still very, very good. That's going to be, that's going to be a close game. I'm almost ready to say Chicago, but in an upset. But no, I'm gonna go with the Titans. Another big game, 5-2 Baltimore Ravens at 5-2 Indianapolis Colts. The Ravens beat the hell out of the Steelers in every way possible except for the scoreboard. Lamar Jackson had a bad game when it came to turnovers. And the Colts, they won their game. They beat the Detroit Lions. I mean, whenever Detroit has expectations, they do what Detroit does. Fuck it up. So, I mean, it is what it is. This is a big game because, people are saying Lamar Jackson can't win the big one, can't win big games. Colts have a good defense. So, but I'm going to go with the Ravens. Baltimore is going to be on that fast track in Indy. I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a big game. I believe they win and go to 6-2. Next game, the Carolina Panthers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs, nothing to talk about. Game Detroit at Minnesota, a game that really nobody cares about. Dalvin Cook just had a great game against the Packers, 4 touchdowns. Detroit, run Adrian Peterson more. What the hell is wrong with y'all? I mean, run him. He wants the carries. He'll be productive. It's against his former team. Run him. God damn it. And with that being said, the Vikings are going to win, especially if Matthew Stafford doesn't play because of this COVID shit. New York Giants at the DC Dick Itch. And, of course, if you're a first-time listener, the DC Dick Itch are the Washington football team. Again, I'll say it again. I'm not calling a team the Washington football team because your owner was arrogant as fuck and doesn't have any respect for women, and I'm never changing the name in all caps and shit like that. So yes, they're the DC Dick Itch until they actually get a name. And with that being said, I think the DC Dick Itch is gonna win, despite the fact that Joe Judge has the Giants playing very hard. But playing very hard and winning games is two different things. They should have beat the Cowboys. They should have beat Tampa Bay on Monday night. You know why that didn't happen? Because Daniel Jones sucks. Biatch. He has his moments, but for the most part, he fucking stinks. And Dave Gettleman just looks like an idiot for taking him 6th overall in the draft last year. Daniel Jones' career is going to be forever remembered as being wide open in the middle of the field where he should have ran for about an 89-yard touchdown run against the Eagles. Nobody was near him, and he stumbled and fell down about 15 yards before he got to the end zone and rolled over for another 8 yards. I mean, he had receivers wide open Monday night. Slayton and Sterling Shepard were double moving the shit out of Tampa Bay's cornerbacks, and he was inaccurate damn near every time. Granted, he drove them down to score the touchdown where they needed the 2-point conversion, and that was a pass interference anyway, by the way. But the dude, he's not it. He's not it. In retrospect, honestly, when I look at the actual talent on the football team, the Giants should win, to be honest with you. The Giants really should win this game. They should. Like I said, they're playing they're playing hard. Their defense is legit, but so is the Dick Itches. So again, I think the DC Dick Itch is going to scratch their way to a win. Next game, Houston Texans versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Another game nobody cares about. Gardner Minshew's not even playing. Houston will win. Who gives a fuck? Houston, my dark horse AFC team, has let me down all season long. Next game, Vegas at the Chargers. Vegas at LA. Ooh, interesting. AFC West rivalry. The Chargers, again, they find great ways to lose. I'm going to have to go with Vegas. I think I'm going to have to go with the Raiders. They're coming off of a big win against the Cleveland Browns in a nasty weather game. But a win is a win. They're 4-3. They're right on the outskirts of the playoffs, and now the NFL is talking about if any games have to get canceled because of COVID, they're thinking about adding and having 8 teams in each conference. They already are adding the 7th team in each conference, and now you're looking at 8. If that happens, that benefits a team like the Raiders, who is right on the outskirts of the 7th spot. So I think they'll win this game. Pittsburgh at Dallas, nothing to talk about. Steelers are undefeated. They're going to kick the crap out of Dallas. Dallas is going to a fourth quarterback. They released some players. I think Dallas is starting to mail it in. I think they realize they ain't shit. Their season ain't shit, and they will get the shit beat out of them on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Dallas fans hate my fucking guts. They really do. They hate me, man. They really do. They can't stand it. You're a Bronco fan. Why do you get it? It's funny to me because if fans are arrogant assholes, man. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, bro. They are neck and neck with the New York Jets for the worst team in football. They really are. I'm so serious. They stink. They absolutely suck. They tripped over their own shoelaces twice and tripped across the finish line. Dallas sucks. I can't legitimately say that if they play the New York Jets tomorrow that they would actually win the game. They are done. And their fan base deserves every bit of it. That's what I'm saying. They fucking hate me. Okay, anyway. Next game, this is actually a big game between the Miami Dolphins and the Arizona Cardinals. Tua last week made his debut. He didn't really have to do nothing because defense and special teams handled the day, and they put it to the Rams. And Tua didn't even have 100 yards passing, Tua didn't even have 100 yards passing, but he did throw a touchdown pass. And they're going to Arizona, where the Cardinals are 5-2. Coming off of a bye week, as well as that Sunday night thriller against the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm going to have to go with the Arizona Cardinals on this game. I think it's going to be a very good game. But let me tell you something. Brian Flores is a hell of a coach. He reminds me of Tomlin just a little bit. I mean, he has that team ready. The Dolphins, if Tua is what they think he should be, if Tua is what everybody thinks he should be, the Dolphins are going to be going places real soon. And if they win and Buffalo loses, the division is right there for grabs, man. It's right there. But I think they'll fall a little short on this one, but I think Tua will pass for more than 93 yards. And the Sunday night game, big game. New Orleans at Tampa Bay. New Orleans 5-2, Tampa Bay 6-2. A lot of people want to say Tampa's the best team in the NFC. I'm still going with the Seahawks, even though the Seahawks are defensively challenged. But Seattle has made moves. They got Carlos Dunlap from the Bengals. They signed Michael Kendricks. You're going to get Jamal Adams back, so we'll see. But Tampa Bay. Antonio Brown makes his season debut and his Buccaneers debut. Lord have mercy. Now, if the New Orleans Saints, and this is a big if you can counter Antonio Brown making his debut with Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, then you're breaking even because you still have Kamara, you still have Jared Cook. It's just, I don't know if Drew Brees can throw the ball deep anymore. But I'm going to go with the upset. This will be called an upset. I'm going to go with the Saints. I think the Saints are going to win. I really do. I think the Saints are going to win. I'm going out on a limb with that one because the Bucs are a good team. But, I will say this. The Giants exposed Tampa. Because if you have Emmanuel Sanders or Michael Thomas hitting those double moves, Drew Brees ain't going to miss the way Daniel Jones missed. I'm going to tell you that right now. And don't think for 1 second that Sean Payton isn't paying attention to that film against the Giants. That's the main reason why I'm picking the Saints to win. Because I saw Tampa Bay's secondary get a little exposed. I did. Monday night game, New England at the Jets. How do the Jets get Monday Night Football? How the hell does that happen? But the Patriots, they've lost 4 straight. They're 2-5. I think that, I think it's a wrap. Now, what I think people are starting to say is that, you're seeing that Tom Brady was the reason that for the Patriots' success, yada, 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 yakety, yakety, yakety. And that's not totally untrue. But the Patriots struggle this year is because of Bill Belichick. I'm going to have to say it. Not because Cam Newton. Cam, you can barely practice and you catch coronavirus. Now he hasn't played great, but if you can say all last year, what did Tom Brady have to work with last year? Cam has even less to work with. And Cam was never that great of a thrower of the football anyway, but he has even less weapons to work with. The Patriots have a awful offense. They really, really do. And Bill Belichick said it the other day on an interview. He sold out over the last 6 years to win Super Bowls, and he won 3 of them. He said 6 years, so you think about it. They won in 2014, they won in 2016, they won in 2018, and they don't have any money. It's that simple. They don't have any money because I'm sitting there like, why did Bill Belichick is really he has to know that this offense sucks. And Bill Belichick is not the best draft person in the world. He's not. Because he took N'Keal Harry when he could have had DK Metcalf on the rookie deal. You feel me? So this falls on Bill Belichick, and he at least is man enough to admit it. I give him that one. I give it that. He's not hanging Cam out to dry like everybody's ready to hang Cam out to dry, because he knows Cam Newton is not the type of thrower of the football that Tom Brady was. He knows that. Even with Tom Brady being at 43, there are no weapons in New England. They suck. Their weapons are horrible. Their weapons are god-awful. N'Keal Harry is hurt, couldn't get open anyway. Julian Edelman is old and beat up. Who you got? Burkhead. Who you throwing to? Rex Burkhead. Jacoby Myers. Who the fuck are you? Like, straight up. Like, come on, bro. The Patriots offense is trash. Trash. So that's my football picks. But what I'm going to do now is quickly switch over to the NBA, where Adam Silver wants to start the season. He's imploring these players to start the season by the 22nd of December. And I don't blame him. And he's getting resistance from players because, look, I can understand if you're a member of the Los Angeles Lakers or the Miami Heat. You just got finished playing 2 months ago, and now you agree to do this. You're going to be going into training camp soon. But you know what? It's 2020. We've had to, figure shit out on the fly this whole year, because I understand if you're the Lakers or the Heat. But on the other end, you have a few teams that haven't played since March. They haven't played in over just about 8 months now, since the stoppage due to the coronavirus. The Golden State Warriors haven't played since March. The Detroit Pistons, Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks, they haven't played since March. The Atlanta Hawks, they haven't played since March. And then you have the teams, the 22 teams who were invited to the bubble. You'd have those teams that didn't make the playoffs, like the Phoenix Suns or the New Orleans Pelicans, or who was the lone team from the East that was invited that didn't make it? It was only one team, because the East was terrible regardless. But like I said, you have teams like the Spurs, the Pelicans, the Phoenix Suns, teams that did not make the playoffs, and they haven't played since what? August? Because all they played was 8 games in the bubble. They haven't played since like August. So it's been pretty much a regular offseason for them. And then you have the teams who have bounced out in the first round. Look, man, and most importantly, if they don't start by, before Christmas, because the players, I believe, want to start on Martin Luther King Day. If they don't start, they're risking it losing over $500 million. You have to think about TV contracts. Yeah, you have network contracts, national and local. All of that revenue will be going straight down the toilet if the NBA players don't simply do their fucking job. Go to work. Especially, the players who haven't played since March. Take your asses to work. It's time to play. If LeBron James takes a month off, if LeBron James doesn't come back until January, who cares? I'm gonna be honest with you. Who cares? Maybe the Lakers will struggle. LeBron can use that shit to his advantage. He can use that shit to advantage if, the Lakers kind of get slow out of the gate because LeBron needed to sit out a month because, he was going to be 36 years old and year 18 and just coming off winning his 4th championship and yada, yada, yada. And if the Lakers are teetering around 500 by the time he gets back and then they make a run, that's a story right there. That's a story right there. We all know LeBron loves to be the headliner when it comes to the news. So if LeBron, and I can get it. If LeBron sits out, who the fuck cares? Honestly, I don't. Like I said, when he gets back, he should be fresh, as fresh can be, and then try to make a run at it again. And I don't want to hear shit about no load management or anything like that. Cause look, see what load management got the Clippers? Nothing. That shit was lightning in a bottle when Kawhi did that shit for Toronto. Robs the fans. It robs the networks. No. But, go to work. All the NBA players have to do is do their damn job. Go play basketball. Go play basketball and generate your money of over $500 million. And, I like Adam Silver because Adam Silver is a player's commissioner. David Stern would have probably been like, look, this is what it is. Y'all have no choice. David Stern was probably the greatest commissioner. I don't know if Adam Silver has topped David Stern yet, but David Stern is top dog when it comes to commissioners of the major American team sports. But think David Stern would have lost that money? God rest his wonderful soul. Please. Adam Silver is, he listens to the players, but they're like, look, bruh, look. You know what I'm saying? We got to play. We're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. So chill out. Everything has had to be on the fly when it comes to 2020. Everything. Even your need to go to the toilet and take a doo-doo if you out in public because you can't hold it. You got to think twice about that on the fly. Or you may got to squat and bloop. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. Oh, quick boxing news. Gervonta Davis landed the knockout of the year over Leo Santa Cruz. That left hook was sent straight from hell, and it just dropped him cold. So Tank Davis unified championship belts, and we'll see what's next for him. All I know is that coming up in 3 weeks, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., who I'm going to start getting more into detail about that as the weeks progress. And that show right before Thanksgiving is pretty much damn near totally going to be about Mike versus Roy. But anyway, with that being said, where the buzzer, where the buzzer, where the buzzer? All right, once again, man, everybody is still on pins and needles in regards to this election. And I'm like, bro, just no matter what happens, no matter who wins the election, just understand that the Heavenly Father is got it all under control. No matter what these people try to tell you or how they might try to mislead you, trust me, put your faith in God, not no man who wants to run the country and build it in his image. And I don't really care what political party you represent. That's why I don't trust politicians like that anyway, because they want to build America in what they think America should be like. And most of them don't have a clue as far as what the American citizen really, really needs. They really think they have it all figured out. Neither one of them do. So, just keep your faith in the Most High, because that's what I'm going to do. And if somebody disagrees with your vote, please don't be disrespectful. I meant to tell you guys this earlier. I was on Facebook, and I guess a Facebook friend of mine put on a post, if you've voted for Biden, unfriend me because he's a pedophile and I don't, support pedophilia. What? And I was reading some comments. Some people were making sense saying, okay, but it's all right for Trump to grab him by the pussy, and, Trump has made inappropriate comments and done inappropriate things with young girls too. Like all of these, like they all got issues, man. And so I was just like, okay, really unfriend you. Because if somebody decides to disagree with you as far as who they're voting for, you all of a sudden want to disassociate yourself with that person completely. Like, that's crazy. And I put a comment, I was like, so you hold your Bibles upside down too? And then some lady who had nothing to do with nothing just came at my neck and started cussing me out and saying, you hold your kids like that? Middle finger emoji. And saying, you have a small penis. I'm like, whoa, I have a small penis? Like, you really went there? And I looked at this person's profile picture. I was like, ew, who wouldn't have a small penis looking at your ugly ass? So, I mean, I entertained it for about 5 minutes. And I was like, I need to chill, because this person obviously still has some serious growing to do when they're taking it, that serious. I mean, and this person who doesn't know me from a can of paint was trying to get personal. Biatch. I mean, and, y'all know me. I'm going to clap back. You know what I mean? I'm going to clap back. So I clapped back a couple times and I'm like, that's enough. I'm good because these motherfuckers out here crazy. Like, for real. These motherfuckers out here crazy, acting dumb, dumb. So anyway, like, if this is your first time listening to the Sports Plus Life, definitely don't hesitate to hit that subscription button. Next show, I'm going to try to have my homeboy from work on. He was asking me about it today. I said I do the telephone interviews. I don't have time tonight because I got to go fix my little one some dinner. But next time, I'm going to try to get my homeboy G-Main on the line. But this has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good out there. I'm out this bitch. Peace.